There we
So
go.
we welcome each of you. We check our messages to see if anyone is trying to get on and can't, but
Yes.
we've had that happen as well.
Good evening, Team Freedom.
Yes.
Hey, Greg.
Love the excitement.
That's right. Greg is from up
Hey,
in
just
Canada.
coming off the 7-day, guys. I love it.
Yes,
That's
Greg, do you want to share your results so far?
My results after my first week on the 7-day, I lost a total of 7.0 pounds.
Woo!
Amazing.
Woo!
Amazing.
Good, yeah.
Great
So
job.
excited.
That is
We have three
awesome.
countries on here. We have Mexico, US, and Canada.
Yay, let's get some more.
Hola, Mexico.
Yes. So, but yeah, we're so glad you guys are joining. That's awesome results. And, we'll just, and Greg, good job on your posting too. We encourage you to kind of just post very casually about, you have been losing weight and this is kind of taking you next level. And you got a ton of interest
Yeah, you did.
on
Oh,
your
absolutely.
post. And like I always tell everyone, when you get any interest on your post, start yourself a spreadsheet
Try to do a list.
and do a list. You want to hand me that book? I've shown this book before. You can get them on Amazon, but these little activity logs are really, really good to track your customers. And I've had people literally, you guys, it was like 2 years after the collagen launch that said, I'm finally ready to start. So don't discount, like you've got to stick with people and you've got to just be, consistent with, kind of following up. And the verbiage I like to kind of use is, give them some time and then just be like, hey, I'm just following up. You were interested in the weight loss or you were interested in the collagen. Did you, find something that's working for you? Did you find a solution or did you find an answer? And if they say no, then say, well, would you take a look again? Because this has helped so many people. So don't be afraid to just always circle around because you want to find out their pain points. And that's a huge thing. Find out people's pain points. And at the NYKO, and Florence, I don't know, did you watch NYKO? Were you able to watch it? Did you?
I
go
was.
live, didn't you?
I watched it live.
You were, yeah, we watched it on the live stream too. But one of my favorite things was the gentleman, and I think he was from Canada. Do you remember how he got up and spoke about
Oh yeah, he was from Canada. He was good.
people's frustrations? Like that is what we want to be listening for, are people's frustrations. And
Their
that's
pain
what our
points.
company does, is addresses people's frustrations, whether their frustration is mental, whether they're thinking clearly, they're sleeping well, they have energy, they, are dealing with hair loss. So many people just from stress
Mhm.
are have lost a lot of hair, even if they wasn't because of COVID. So really be looking for people's, what are their frustrations? And then we, enter in the solution. So
We have so many different solutions. So when someone has a need, we have a solution for them.
that's right. So we kind of shouted out Greg. I want to shout out Heather.
Yeah.
Yay, Heather.
Yeah.
She's from the start, did excellent in the business, but then had a lull. So, and Heather, you shared last week, but I think I'm going to let you, if you are open to just sharing a couple minutes, kind of just talk about that lull, because that is that's a big
common
thing.
thing.
That is like huge to be able to get past the lull instead of start feeling like, oh, what am I doing? And what am I doing wrong? So Heather, do you want to share, just like, because you've just been still just consistently, she reached out one day. She's like, I've made 17, she's done 17 reach outs today. So, I mean, she's really following through and staying consistent. So awesome, Heather. If you want to just share.
Kathy's trying to log in. I don't know if you can reach out to her.
Sure. I'll let Ron handle that.
Okay. All right. So let me get my dog off my lap. Here's my
Oh, Samson.
Those sounds.
baby. Anyways, yes, I had a terrible lull there for a while. And like somebody said to me, well, what kind of activity you need to set a goal to do a certain amount of activity daily? And that's what I did. I realized that when I was in a really big growth stage a while back, I was logging kind of like your activity book, but I have my own system. I was logging everybody I touched, reached out to, tried to connect with, new contacts, old contacts, and I hadn't been doing that. And it was like, wow, I guess I need to like change my habits. So I keep track every single day, and I try to reach out to a minimum of 5 every single day, but it's been up to 17 or 18 a day. And I'm
Wow.
finding a lot of my contacts, like I'm going through my LinkedIn. Not everybody's on LinkedIn, but the other thing I'm seeing is there's a lot of Facebook people I haven't touched base with in recently. And so sometimes when you go on somebody else's post and make a comment, you see other people who are commenting on there. You're like, oh my gosh, I haven't touched base with that person in a while or that person in a while. And so I'm reaching out at this point. I'm meeting people for coffee, for happy hour, for, just trying to reconnect with a lot of people. And it's been very successful.
Yes.
And I've become much more bold.
I love
Here's
that.
the thing. I figured if I reach out and somebody doesn't, want to do that or go that direction or try the collagen or whatever, what have I lost? Nothing.
Mhm.
And so you have to go, there's nothing to lose. Just go for it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I love sharing that because we think that, and this was something else that was shared at the NYKO, is we kind of think a business is just supposed to have one direction, right?
Mhm.
And so they made this kind of analogy of getting on an elevator, and you might go to the second floor, and then you might go back down to the first floor. Then you might go to the third floor. So you have to think about the ebbs and flows and that kind of line, like if you were to look at the stock market, for example, right? We're up and down and up and down. Oh, we have Kathy finally.
She
Yay.
made it, yeah.
Good.
Our-
Yay.
Yay, Kathy. I'm glad you were able to
she's
hop
on it,
in.
man. She'll be there.
Awesome.
There we go.
Hi, Kathy.
Hi, had to download Zoom and yeah,
You know what I found is, I don't know if any of you found, like Zoom did like a big update, and I was like signed out and had to like do an update and all these crazy things. So yeah, that definitely happens. Well, we're glad you can join us. Kathy is brand
Yeah.
new. She's
Yes.
just starting on her 30-day system. I think you're on day 2, right,
Yeah.
Kathy?
yeah.
Yeah,
Well, today, yeah. That's right. I had to stop and think. So yeah, I did it Sunday and then today.
good.
Good.
Well, and before I move on, we do have someone special, Florence. And Florence, do you want to just tell just real quick, a couple minutes, like how your ISA story, like how long you've been in Isogenics? I think I don't know how the tree works, but I think you're above us, right? Are you above us? I mean, Liz,
I think
see
yes.
your daughter falls into our tree, Liz.
Correct.
She's
Yes.
done amazing in Isogenics as well, but you're above there somewhere above us. And so just share just briefly kind of your story, and then we'll move on to some products and
Okay. I will. I'll tell you, it's been quite a journey. The best thing I ever did. I started back in like 07, believe it or not. It seems like forever ago. And it was really because of where I was and how I was feeling. And I didn't want to talk to anybody about it, but I had a cousin that kept telling me about the products. So just to keep this real short and crisp, I jumped in, and it was really because my weight, I'd gotten to the heaviest I'd ever been, and I was just tired all the time. So fast forward, I started with the system, didn't tell anyone but my husband, and it was the inches that I lost. So I thought, if I could be losing these inches, this is amazing. I never lost weight the way that I was losing it, the inches. So then my daughter saw me, and she went to know what I was doing. And so I thought, my husband had told her, which he hadn't. And she's like, whatever you're doing, I want to do it. And that's kind of when I didn't want to talk about it. But then when people started asking me, I was like, oh, there's
There
a
you
method
go.
to this madness, because I had been in other network marketing companies and I was burnt out. I didn't want to talk to people. I didn't want people to think I was trying to sell them anything. And I really struggled with that. So when I realized that people were looking for this, and then when they started asking me, I thought, this is a little bit too easy. Did everybody join? No, they did not. But the ones that started back there, I still have them, even if they're not doing the business, they're customers, and they just continue to order over and over,
Right.
over the years. And I will say one thing, I actually walked away from Isogenics for about 2 years, but I never stopped cycling. So I was still taking the
Wow.
products, and I was still, feeling great, but I kept thinking, I don't know about this, the business end of it. But my cousin who had introduced to me kept talking to me about it. So when I realized I was cycling more and making more money than other things I was trying to do, I thought, this is a no-brainer. So I jumped back in again. But fast forward, again, I've had teams that have jumped on and we've been on fire, and it's true. You have your ups and you're going to have your downs, but the benefits in the long run, I will never walk away from this company. So you are in the right place at the right time. And when you hear people say, if this is the first company that you've ever been with, you've hit a home run, let me tell you, you've hit a home run.
Yes, truly
amazing.
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the most amazing. And what Ron and Allie have done, I am like so proud of them. They are
Aw,
amazing.
Thank
They
you.
talk the talk and they walk the walk. And that's what's so important. And they're sincere. So, I
Aw,
mean, I'm just
yes.
happy to be a part of this. I'm from Delaware, and I'm excited to be, on these calls with all of you.
Well,
So
we're
keep up the good work. Keep it up.
We're so glad. And I think one of our missions, even after COVID, is to really unite people, to get people, all of us working together, rowing together, helping each other. And one of the top teams right now, Jessica Rinkner, you know who that is, Florence. But one thing that she does very well is, as soon as she has someone new come into the business, she finds out who in the business they could relate to. So like you, Crystal, if I knew like a physical or another massage therapist, I would connect you to. And just like Angelique, she's not on tonight. She's a esthetician. So if you have an esthetician, you want to connect with Angelique, she is always happy to take calls and do Zooms. She's done it before. It doesn't matter if we're on the same line, if we're all, financially benefiting from each other. It's about us working teamwork. So definitely hook your new people in with who they will relate to, definitely with us, but with who would be a good relation point for them.
Right.
So,
It's not just a pathway of a career of I'm an esthetician or this kind of thing. It is also experiences. So if someone comes in and they're looking at weight loss, we're going to connect them with someone who has a weight loss story.
yes,
Someone who has had pain relief of any kind, and this person is looking for
Lynn's our person.
we're going to send them to you so that you make a connection together on we
Right.
have the same goals, we want the same results.
Exactly. So I love that, us, really connecting together. And I think the only other thing we really, really wanted to touch on, because we kind of went into the business, is that what's really been falling on Ron and I lately in our leadership is uniqueness. And we did speak a little about this to Crystal and Lynn before we all were on here. And what we mean by that is we need to be listening. We need to be asking questions of our customers. So if someone says, I'm interested, I need to lose weight, we don't just send them like, this is like, here's the pack, here's the thing. You ask questions like,
Mhm.
what are your goals? What are you looking for? Have you been trying to lose weight a long time? Is this your first program? Same with the collagen. Do you use collagen? Are you familiar with collagen? Have you had great results? What are you looking for? And then I always tell them, these are all the things that can happen. Are you looking for maybe, better hair, better nails, your joints? because it's not just wrinkles. Like people take collagen for so many reasons. So if you can gather, and it makes them know you're not just trying to sell them something also. I don't give away the goods. Like I ask a lot of questions, and they're mini commitments to get them to answer you back. So the more conversing you get, then they're ready for the video, and you say, hey, I've got this short video. Would you have time right now to view it? A lot of times if you send a video and you don't get that mini commitment out of them, oh, I didn't watch it. Oh, I didn't have time. So kind of wait till they're ready for the content or the information, and then send it so that you're ready to right away follow up. So I just think asking questions are just really powerful.
And in network marketing, we hear so often, it's about duplication. It's about getting other people to do what you're doing. And it is, but at the same time, it's not just sending a link for a cart and saying, here it is,
Right.
go for it. What we're talking about is totally different. Ask a lot of personal questions. It's a personal connection. It does so much better than being impersonal.
Because the company has a lot of resources and they have a lot of videos, and those are great. But it requires you making that personal connection first, because if you just send out pictures, and it's a great system to be thinking about, the pictures and the video and how to order, but you've got to connect with that person first, and they've got to trust you, and they've got to know that you care about them, and you're not just plugging them into a system. If they feel plugged into a system and just a number, then you're not going to get as good of result, and it just causes a lot of discouragement. So it's just so important to not forget that personal element of finding out what those people are truly looking for and customizing things for them. And that's the business as well. We want to customize this business for each of you. Heather is a great networker. She has a networking group and she's doing the online. Julie has her tennis group. I'm just throwing out ideas, but I'm saying we can customize, we can help you. Also, Julie, you're kicking, rocking Instagram.
Yes.
And I know you can't really put your collagen on there, but you could start, like we could kind of start talking about how you could build your Instagram for that, right? So everyone on here has unique gifts. Crystal, you have clients that you see, how could we help you kind of mention it without feeling like you're selling them, right? Like that's a difficult thing. Lynn's got tremendous background in sales. That's how she knows Ron. So every one of you has amazing gifts. Greg, I know you have amazing skills for building websites and building funnels and things like that. So I'm just throwing out a few things, but you guys all have gifts. We believe in every one of you. The way you build it won't look like the way Ron and I build it. And that's awesome. That's cool. The big thing is that we're just always doing something to move our business forward. And we are here to help you customize what works for you.
That's right. And we always like to talk about a product. And we have so many new products, so many
I'm
good
going to pop
products.
this up.
And we're not going to talk about a new product.
We're talking about the basics.
We're actually talking about one of the first products there ever was. Because what we realize is we take collagen, we take the stress drinks, we take so many different things. It's just the whole store of Isogenics.
I wish I could
But
take more, actually.
If we don't have our shake once a day or
That's your
twice a day,
foundation.
that's your foundation. Actually, we found that the collagen goes to work on the skin and what people want to see better if they're on the shakes, because their need for protein and nutrition is being met through the shakes. So the collagen is not needed for that protein and for being a need for helping inside the body. So it goes to the skin.
So like this little framework here, I know or this little thing, it talks about, we have it in the group. So the shake, a lot of us might have the mindset from like Slim Fast and all these like diet companies that the shake is a diet product. I know I felt that way at first. It was kind of like, well, I'm just going to be letting my hair down today, eat what I want. So I don't want to waste that shake because I'm not dieting today. It's the opposite. That shake is your foundation. And to just read it off, so like there's enough vitamin D for 10 egg yolks. There's enough calcium for 11 cups of chopped broccoli, 11 cups. I mean, you've got enough folate for 6 oranges. Just that amount of produce I've listed off. What would that cost at the store? A lot. So the shake is a foundation, but it's also a money saver because you're getting $19 of produce per shake. You're getting so much nutrition, and it's not artificial synthetic nutrition like you're going to find in other shakes. And that's why I want to point out a few bullet points. Why is our shake different than the 5,000 shakes on the market? Arbonne's, whatever you want to say out there, there's a shake on every corner. Number one is that ours is undenatured. If you've ever heard that term before, and what that means is that the protein is still living. So when they pasteurize things, when they pasteurize our milk, when they pasteurize different things, they heat it to a level that the protein is destroyed. And so that does not happen with our shake. Isagenix figured a way out how to process it with steam, so the protein is intact. So your body's actually able to use it instead of having dead protein. So that's number one, is it's undenatured. Number two, if you're getting the whole blend, you're getting your vitamins in the Vitamers. And I'm going to post a video about what Vitamers are. To give you an example, a vitamin B6, there's 6 different chemical formulations in a spinach leaf. When you have something that's just been added, like, if you see fortified on a cereal or something, you're only getting 1 chemical formulation
out of the 6. Yeah.
But Dr. Plant, he's the first, this is the first shake like it on the market. He's able to capture all the chemical configurations as if you're extracting that right from the spinach leaf. So it's really cool. So it's not like dead food, dead protein. I gave Ron a hard time when I started Isagenix, how I wasn't eating this dead food, this dead stuff in a package. It's very different. You're getting real nutrition. You're getting real, you can actually buy less produce. People buy less produce because they replace their shake. So that's why I wanted to, it's undenatured. You're getting the Vitamers. If it's whey, you want to talk about their cows? And
right. If it's whey protein, the cows are sourced, and where we go to get the whey protein is New Zealand and remote parts of Australia. And those are areas where the grounds and the soils and the plants have never been sprayed with chemicals, and no GMOs, nothing has ever touched the soils. So you actually have the life within the soils to bring about the minerals. So we have the high mineral concentrate. And what you're getting in these shakes for about $4 a meal, you could not get a meal anywhere else for $4. You can't even go to the drive-through of fast food and get anything for $4 anymore. That would be considered a meal. And it certainly would not have this nutrition. So when you think about it, this is one product we can talk to people about, and we're telling them you're not going to spend more money. This is not something extra. This is replacing food for you with greater nutrition, greater food for only $4 a meal. You'll save money.
Especially single people, male or female, and if they're older and they're on a fixed income, it saves them. Excuse me, so much, because they don't have to purchase as much. People on fixed incomes, and then they get older, they're getting the Meals on Wheels, or they're microwaving a TV dinner. They can do this shake instead of a TV dinner and be cheaper. I haven't bought a TV dinner in forever, so I don't know what the price of them are, but I'm sure that they're more than, they're not any cheaper than the $4 per shake. So
that's right. And the final thing to talk about is our big event coming up is Saturday, coming up on March 18th. So my question for you is, have you got your ticket? Because we need to have a head count. So make sure you purchased your ticket if you're an associate. Make sure you get the number of free tickets you need for your guests. Everybody you've signed up that lives in Colorado should be there. every single one of them.
And we've reached
And-
as far as we can, even people 2 and 3 hours away. So who do you know
Who do you know in Colorado?
that you could invite? It's going to be an amazing. We're getting 2 people sent from corporate, which is amazing, a sales director as well as their top nutritionist who is in charge of education. So, and we're gonna have just top names in a lot of fields, a top global speaker and an esthetician and another nutritionist. So we have people that we even pulled in a lady that lives in Arizona who's going to be in Colorado. She's a she's a former pro snowboarder.
yeah.
You might know her, Florence Bethany Krause. She's actually joining us on our event.
And
So,
Tom will also be speaking and bringing a lot of her.
so I
team.
know that many of you from afar can't join us for that, in live person event, but just if you could think of anyone that you could share the information that would, might want to come out and join us. We're going to make it fun, engaging, entertaining. They're not going to be sitting bored in their seats.
Well, and they will get some product as well for being there. So that is good too.
Oh,
Oh,
we'll send you the link,
will send you the
Julie.
link.
I'll send you the link for the ticket. So,
Anyone that wants that link, will get that to you. But invite friends. I mean, they will actually get so much inspiration from different speakers that even if they're not that interested in what we're doing, they're going to benefit from being
in
there.
that the first section will be more friendly towards people that don't know about it. And then they'll be able to make the choice, and we're going to have at least 2 or 3 breaks in that 3-hour period. So people can get up, mingle, go to the bathroom. They'll have the chance to stay, or they'll be able to leave. And, if they don't care to stay for the kind of the business building portion of it, and we will try to capture what we can,
Mhm.
video and things like that, and share with those of you that have to miss it, because I love hearing how different people build, because it is so different just based on people's lifestyles and, how they decide how they're comfortable
Well,
building the
and
business.
One final thing, we have on the call, she just sent a message to everybody, Julie Newell. And
Yes, Julie.
Wayne and Julie Newell have their own story. They have been through a lot of things, but all the time, even having to step away from the business for health concerns and such, their actual income has increased the whole time. And that's a part of this business, is it just keeps coming
Yes.
in. And they're a great upline. They're there to help. They're there to answer questions. We really appreciate that
Yes,
being on the
Julie.
call as
We
well.
hope you and Wayne are doing well, and the pups are doing well. They have 2
Right, and
sweet
we
little
love you too.
dogs. So,
So,
but does Mark, or we're gonna stop the recording.
yes, does anyone have any questions?
We're gonna then kind of ask if anyone's got